Hey everyone, this is just going to be a very quick tutorial on TAME Impala's Elephant if you're going to do it in standard tuning. So the song as you hear it on the record is dropped to D, but everything is dropped down. So you're tuning the whole guitar down. But this is if you, obviously if you've got an acoustic guitar and you're wanting to just learn this song, here's two ways that you can learn it, okay? So the first is using a bar chord shape. So if you're comfortable with bar chord shapes, this is kind of the first way. And you're gonna do a bar chord on the D, which is the 5th fret of the A string, pointer on 5th fret A, ring on 7 on the D, pinky on 7 on the G. Okay, and this gets you playing with the song just in standard tuning. That's kind of your main chord, and then you're gonna jump up. You're gonna jump up to 8. Same bar chord shape, that power chord. So that could be a little bit of a challenge, but that's where you're going, is 8th fret, same bar chord, and you're avoiding hitting this top string, okay? So, you know, as you're using your right hand or your strumming hand, just make sure you're not hitting that top one. And then you're gonna go to the G bar chord, and you don't have to do the full bar chord. You can just do those 3 notes and just hit the top 3 strings. And sometimes with the bar chord, a shortcut I give my students is just resting your middle finger on that top string, so you can actually hit it, but underneath the chord you have that muted string. So that's what you can do if you're having a hard time hearing that unwanted E string, because that's just going to drown that D out. So either careful with the right hand or rest that middle finger. And then the riff, you know, you're going to do bar chords if you hear the song, and then back up to 8. Okay, so that's one way if you're comfortable with the bar chords. The second way is just with your regular open chords. So basically that main chord, you know, it isn't specifically a D minor, but that's closer than the D major. So if you're comfortable with the D minor chord, and then that chord up here is an F. So you could do either a bar chord F, but usually my students will get this version, the F, first. So it's your ring finger on the 3rd fret D string, middle on the 2nd fret G, and then barring the 1st fret on the E and the B string. So you can go from a D, which is very close. So that could be a comfortable practice routine to get D minor to the F with this song. And then the next chord is a G, and you could do this version of a G, and that's what you've learned, but an easier one is just to get your ring finger on top, middle on the A string, and pinky. That's going to be much more comfortable from an F, just scooting those 2 fingers up and bringing your pinky down. So you've got this progression. And the B minor. And then the riff, you could just do single notes. You know, middle finger and ring. You know, try to use more than just one finger. So either middle and ring, or get your pointer finger to come down to 4. And then F. All right, hope that helped.